Welcome back to He's on Fire podcast, episode 9 already. Crazy. We've only been in it a month and we're at episode 9. And guess what? Arizona Cardinals are 3-0. It wasn't the prettiest. It wasn't the best. I was worried. I was texting the guys that are about to come on in a minute. Are you still drinking the Kool-Aid? Are you still drinking the Kool-Aid? So we're going to find out what their answer is coming up very shortly. I am very excited to talk about everything that's been going on in the NFC West because a lot has been going on. I'm excited about it. You should be too, because we have a huge matchup next week, and it is time to exercise those damn demons that are the Rams. He's on Fire podcast.
Urbanich sets, loads up, and it is caught! Down strong! Blitz coming, Matthews, Palmer extending the play, crosses the field, Larry Fitzgerald. There he scores, it's over. It's insane to the 4-yard line. Crowder looking, throws it, alley, oh! He puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting a little wobbly. The downfield shot, Jayyy! The front race! They won't get it! Center field! The Diamondbacks are world champions!
I get a little bit more hype on that every time we get a W, and we had one this past Sunday, and I want to bring in the guys finally. So here we go. Jayyy, Amit, how are you guys doing after that crazy game just a little over 24 hours ago? 36 hours maybe at this point.
Feeling all right. A little less confident than I was after week 2.
3-0.
But yeah, we're 3-0. Yeah, exactly. We're 3-0. I couldn't be happier. First 3-0 start since 2015, and that was a really good year for us. So yeah, we'll get into it.
Amit, how are you feeling? Did we lose him? Did he just freeze on live national television audience? There he is. You there?
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. We heard you're clicking. You're good. How are you feeling about the 3-0 start, bro?
I mean, like I said, like one of those should be a loss. If you were betting on this last Cardinals game, what was it, 7.5? Where's the line ended? At the halftime, you're probably thinking this is you're losing your money, right? But this is the second week in a row where we've seen the defense actually clamp down in the second half.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the six.
You might need to reconnect, bro. You're going in and out, so I'm gonna remove you for the time being. We'll have him reconnect in a second. Yeah. So Jayyy, I texted you in the middle of the game, like I think right before the 109-yard field goal kickoff return. I think it was right before that, and I was like, "Are you drinking the Kool-Aid?" So Jayyy, are you drinking the Kool-Aid still? Are you drinking the Week 1 Titans Kool-Aid?
Yes. Not so much of the, how I was feeling after the Titans win, but first of all, like, don't kill Matt Prater. He was like 2 yards off that field goal.
Ain't his fault.
Yeah, and big guys are chasing after Agnew, one of the best returners in the league. So, it's gonna happen, but don't kill Prater over that. It's not a big deal. We came back and won in the second half. Cliff and the whole coaching staff stepped up on the defensive end, and Kyler was great for the most part, except for that stupid interception that he threw into double coverage. This is a
we
positive.
can expect that like every game now because he's doing that pretty consistently.
Man, I let's touch on that. Like, dude, double coverage double freaking coverage, and he does it again at a time where it felt like we were getting the momentum, could go up 14-0, could really put a stranglehold on a game. And here we go, throwing into double coverage, trying to do too much. Amit, do you think he's going to do that every game now?
I think so. I feel like that's what he's doing. I mean, his accuracy has gone up, his poise has gone up, but he's making those Brett Favre throws now, dude. And remember the picks? I mean, he threw a pick 6.
Wow.
Right?
Yep.
So, I mean, he's feeling himself. He's feeling himself. And I think he's got to find a way to maybe it's not this year, but he's got to find a way to just hold off on those throws.
Kyler right now, he's second in the league and NFL completion at 76%.
Wow.
Yeah, so I believe he's right behind Stafford. So he's throwing the ball pretty well for the most part. It's just those stupid picks, like unnecessary forcing it. Just throw it out. And if you go back to that interception, he had the room to run. So
yeah, he's trying not to run. So I appreciate that, Amit. I like your point about the Brett Favre interceptions, because no matter how many times Brett Favre turned it over, you always trusted him.
Yeah.
You always thought you could come back. You know what I mean? There was never a doubt with Brett Favre. So that's a very interesting take, and I kind of want to ponder that a little bit. Meanwhile, the running game really couldn't get going, but James Conner just looks like the better back through 3 weeks. Would anybody disagree? Am I off on this?
No, he's more physical. I think, trying to give the ball to Rondale Moore is it depends on the defense you're playing. I think, Chase Edmonds still is kind of he's like a scat back in a lot of ways.
Yep.
He's not your typical 3-down back. James Conner has shown that he can catch the ball out of the backfield, which is good because, I mean, that's what we need for him to do. He's only 25 years old.
Too. Yeah, better blocker.
Yeah, better blocker. He's only 25 years old. So he's probably the best blocking running back that Kyler's had, right?
Ooh.
Wouldn't you say?
I mean,
yeah. So.
At this point, I think he's better. He's more physical than Kenyon Drake was for sure. So, yeah.
So, I mean, I think, we didn't get the yardage that we probably wanted, but we had pretty good balance from run to pass. And we got the short yardage plays on the goal line, which matter.
So let me bring it up real quick. We only had 91 yards rushing as a team. And I came into this week wanting the Cardinals to just ground and pound it. Like, let's get over 150 yards and run the damn ball. Didn't so much do that. But here's the interesting tidbit. Both players, Chase Edmonds, James Conner, each had 11 carries. James Conner had 43 yards. Chase Edmonds 26. And that's a 3.9 and a 2.4 average. Like, that's not much, but James Conner had the longer run. James Conner had the 2 touchdowns. I'm just liking what I'm seeing more. And what did JV just say right here? JV says, when it comes to Kyler's interceptions, I'd rather have an offense that has the occasional interception rather than an offense that is not able to move the ball.
100%. I agree with that.
100%.
Good take, JV.
Yeah.
I think all three of us want perfection, though. And we're not going to get it out of Kyler Murray. What Darth Voida, John from Suns Jam Session said, I really wish he could throw over the middle, because it seems like he's taking, instead of 3, 4, 5 step backs, it's like 7, 8, 9. So he can get that extra room to throw over the middle. Amit, we were talking about running backs real quick, and I dropped those numbers, and we're both agreeing that James Conner is more physical. Do you think he's that number 1 back right now?
Well, he's what we got at, right? So I think we're gonna have to find ways to use the running game differently, because I think it's pretty predictable when we do it. I think, and I hate to say this, but I think if we can do that RPO a little bit more, like we haven't really seen it that much this season at all,
right?
And I think we could use that a little bit just to keep the defense guessing a little bit, because I think Kyler, he had 3 carries for 19 yards, I think. And one of those was a touchdown.
7 for 19.
Oh, was it 7? Oh, wow.
7 for 19.
Okay. So, I mean, so, I mean, obviously they cut off the run game. I think, we're going to have to see what we can get from James Conner, but he was featured in Pittsburgh. I don't know if they had a better offensive line when he was there, but again, he's only 25 years old. Even though he seems like he's been around forever, he's a good running back, and he's a physical
I
guy.
agree.
He's a big dude. He can block. He can catch. So we just got to either feature him a little bit more, which I think, and that's something that Kyler did this week, which he's been doing, but he spread the ball around a lot this week. I mean,
Yeah.
And then maybe that was because DeAndre was hurt, but
Probably.
he spread the ball around a lot, and it's nice because when you do that, it's going to open up the field for Hopkins when you need him. So as long as he's in the right position, but which we could talk about that where he's just on one side of the field, running kind of meaningless routes half the time. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to work with it. I think we just have to figure out the running game a little bit more. It comes back on Cliff. I mean, I think this game was kind of a regress back to last season where just some of the play calls were just confounding.
I completely agree. And Roy, I wanted to shout you out Saturday night and talk about your Razorbacks, but you didn't join us. I didn't see you on there. So I don't know if I can give the Razorbacks any love for beating Texas A&M right now. But they look good. They are the surprise team in the SEC right now, and I am pushing for them because I'm always going to go for the underdogs, bro. I'm always going to go for the underdogs. So in the SEC, go Razorbacks, man. Woo pig sooie, isn't that what y'all say down there? Like, I am all on board with Arkansas right now. And your Falcons won, bro. You must have had a really, really, really good weekend. So props to them. Props to them. They didn't look good, but neither did the Giants, and so that doesn't really matter. He said he was asleep. See, really wanted to shout you out. I was excited. I had a few stats for you that I can't remember at this time, but if I have them, I'll pull them up, Roy. I got you. And thank you guys for 50 subscribers right now. That is awesome for 1 month into a podcast, not really going as consistent as I'd like right now. That's definitely coming in the next week or two, but really thank you. Appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share this out, go to Anchor, subscribe to the podcast for the audio portion of it, and donate any money if you guys so choose to help keep this podcast going for the next few months. Big things are definitely happening, but we've got Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Playlist, all the good stuff. So subscribe, listen from there as well. Yes, you guys do have Jordan next week, and now we're really going to find out about Arkansas. Jay, Arizona receivers, Christian Kirk, killing it this year. 7 receptions, 104 yards. AJ Green, 5 for 112, his first 100-yarder as a Cardinal. Chase Edmonds, we just got done talking about James Conner and Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds has 7 receptions for 49 yards. That's just as impressive. DeAndre Hopkins, 3 for 21. Max Williams, 3 for 19. James Conner, 1 for 10. Rondale Moore, 2 for 1 yards. It's kind of weird what Rondale Moore had. It looked like they were definitely keying on him, which is totally fine. It opened it up for other players. I'm totally good with that. But we know that D-Hop isn't well, or else he would have exploded on these types of games. But what are you seeing from the receivers right now? Because to me, it feels like pick your poison. What do you think, Jay?
We have a lot of weapons that can go off at any time. Before we started this podcast, me and Evan, we were talking about what are the weaker points of our team currently, and it was the offensive line, our corner position, and Christian Kirk. And Christian Kirk, for how long has he been in the league? Like 4 years now?
3 or 4 years.
2.
I think it's his 4th year.
Is it his 4th year?
No, his rookie year was Josh Rosen. So this is his 4th year, man.
Okay. Fourth year. Yeah. So like he's been wildly inconsistent for the last 3 years, and like last year I wanted to trade him. I wanted to get somebody else, and he's really shutting me up this year. He's averaging like 14 yards a catch. He's not dropping any balls. His route running, he's gapping people. Like, he's looking really good. And how this offense is laid out, Cliff is seeing like anybody can just spark up and just dip. And Rondale Moore carried the last 2 games. Christian Kirk did a great job, and AJ Green with this game. So I know Larry's sitting back happy for his team and stuff, but I think he can step back and hand the mantle over to maybe Christian Kirk to lead the offense in a sense, because Hop, he hasn't really gotten going yet, but like soon as Kyler finds him, it's over. So
D-Hop's got to get healthy. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches. It really is. Amit, this is a good topic to just continue about how good our receivers have been. And Christian Kirk is actually the top slot receiver based on PFF in the NFL right now.
He's the perfect spread offensive wide receiver because you can play him anywhere, you play him in space, and now he's making these elite catches. He's really grown as a player, and he's a Valley kid too, which is freaking awesome. But I'll just say this: I know Hop is hurt, and I've been telling you guys, just wait. Fitz may come back. If Hop is hurt and he has to take a leave, maybe we see Fitz. But I got to think like maybe the Rams. But has there been any team that has had 3 All-Pro receivers or Pro Bowlers? Because I think we have a potential to do that this year. Granted,
Pro Bowl is something. I know there's been quite a few that have 3 receivers going 1,000 yards plus.
Yeah,
I just don't know about Pro Bowl. I don't believe so.
Yeah, because I think we have the potential for that from what AJ Green did this game and what he's been doing this season. And we obviously Hop is the best, and then Kirk has really stepped up his game. So, I think we have, and then we have everybody else can catch the ball too. I mean, Max Williams is now that league player.
Go figure.
Right? Out of all the tight ends that were supposedly going to be the next big Gronk or whatever we called them, right? Now we got this guy. In fact, did you guys see Dan Arnold got traded to the Jags?
Dan Arnold got traded. I mean, I'm thinking about Troy Nicholas in my head right now. Yeah.
So it's pretty funny, but I mean, on the offense, it actually is funny because like if you look at the stats, it kind of reminds me of the Suns last season, where it's like, well, yeah, Crowder will have 30 or something, or hit 8 threes, and or Ayton will have like 25 and 10, and like it's just like whoever's feasting, whoever gets the opportunity, whoever gets space is just taking advantage of it.
And Kyler Murray is finding them.
Yeah.
The offensive line looked better. I didn't see the tackles getting beat left and right. The holes weren't really there for the running backs to go through, but offensively, can we talk about Cliff Kingsbury's play calling? At what point on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, whatever the hell it's going to be, are we going to stop doing RPO and just line up, get a fullback in there, and bust them in the mouth, man? We have the best center for that, right? You could put J.J. Watt in that fullback. Yeah. We have big guys that can go in and do that. You can motion out Max Williams to get there. When are we going to run some pistol? When are we going to have Rondale Moore on one side, James Conner behind you, and Chase Edmonds on the other side? When are we going to see that? These things that Cliff Kingsbury is doing is a huge detriment to our team, which is why I was so low on them to go into the game. You saw it when we were attempting a 68-yard field goal, you guys. Even K1 afterwards was like, what did you think about going for the kick there at 68 yards? Kyler Murray's like, I was wondering why we were going for the kick. Yeah. Like, come on, Cliff. You have to continue to evolve. And he's doing that. I don't think anybody can say he isn't. But he's going to be the thing that holds us back.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think like it's going to come down to like I always say, it's like the last 2 minutes. If Kyler has the ball and Cliff is out of his ear, then we have a chance. But yeah, I mean, and that was probably about the same distance where he made that Buffalo Bills throw, I'm sure, right? Where Kyler threw the Hail Mary. I'm pretty sure we're probably around the same part of the field where they kicked from. So
probably,
I mean, that kick was stupid, dude. I mean, we all knew he wasn't going to make it, right? I mean, he was not in a dome. He was not in Denver. There was no wind. You're in a muggy, like you're like a humid place. Like the ball is not going to go. So, and then especially it looks even worse when Justin Tucker makes that. How far was that one?
67,
66,
and it barely got over. And he's the best kicker in the history of football. So, I mean, it's funny because on Twitter, people were just killing him because did you guys see that Dolphins play where they're on their half-yard line and they threw a wide receiver screen?
Oh, yeah.
And they were just like, that's Cliff's play. Like in that situation. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
But that's what we're joking about with him. Cliff Kingsbury is the blemish, the black eye on the team. I don't really know how to describe it, but at the same time, how many games in a row have we put up 30 points?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to still be mad at him, but when he does such obvious, stupid things, you're just like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Jay, what do you think of Cliff Kingsbury, the college coach?
First, I wanted to touch on the offensive line. It came out today that the Arizona offensive line has only allowed 7 QB hits, which is the least amount in the league right now.
Hey, you'll take that.
And
How much is that? How much of that is Kyler though? Right.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. So yeah, him running around and shit. But but the game on Sunday there was only 1 QB hit. So the addition of Rodney Hudson is definitely in our favor.
Noticeable.
Yeah, it's very noticeable. And to go to the Cliff point, his play calling is definitely a lot better. But yeah, it's the obvious shit. Like any average NFL fan can like predict what he's about to do at the 25. Like like he's just super predictable, and I just wish he was more of a complex coach like Shanahan or Harbaugh, or just like play calling like that, but
I'd love to see more motion.
Yeah.
I would really love to see more motion. Why not? I was watching the Green Bay San Fran, which I want to touch on a little bit more later on, and they were talking about they use motion like 60 or 70% of the time. And why do they do that? Because their coach said when somebody motions, 4 or 5 defensive players have to adjust.
Yep.
So he's like, why wouldn't I do that every single time? Why wouldn't I do that? So come on, man. Like, Jesus, it ain't that hard. Throw in some motion. For being an offensive genius, I am not impressed. And I continue to be not impressed. But at the same time, we have 30 points again.
Boom shakalaka!
So how much is it me nitpicking and being pissed off at the play calling? And how much is it like he's trying out different things or something like, you know what I'm talking about, Amit?
I think he's trying out different things. I think he's trying to figure out, because he has new personnel this year. So he's trying to figure some things out with them. But I mean, yeah, we had 30 plus points, but one was a pick 6, right? So we actually only had 24. And
sure.
And I think also with that, Cliff, I mean, I don't know what he's committed to. I haven't figured out what he's committed to yet. Last couple seasons, it was the run game. We're very consistently, even if it was Kyler, the majority
2
of the
years, bro. Last 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like last 2 years, like we're committed to the run, and Kyler's going to be a big part of the running game. This year, it's like, well, we got to keep him healthy, because when he wasn't healthy, we saw what the record was. We were like 3-4, whatever, the back half of the season. So he's trying to keep him healthy, but at the same time, it's not the same running game and it's not the same offense. And like you said, with the motion, like I'm seeing these formations, I'm like, okay, it's cool. We're using some different formations, 5 out, but nobody's in motion.
That, yeah. Yep.
Or it's like JJ Watt in the backfield and we got this kind of wishbone thing, but nobody's moving. Like, it's just like, we need to have motion. You have to have motion.
The only time I see motion is when we get the ball to Rondale Moore. And
exactly.
He's going to run right in front or right behind of Kyler.
You know what that play is.
Yeah, that's about it. And then it's an RPO from there. Is he going to toss it to him? Is he going to hold the ball and run or try to make a play? That's all the motion that I'm seeing, man. It's frustrating.
Yeah. You got to put somebody through just for that jet sweep, like RPO thing, to just put an extra fake in there. And then you can run the RPO with Kyler and James Conner. Like on that 4th and 1 last game when we got stuffed, or 3rd and 1, sorry. I mean, if you just put somebody in motion, it changes the whole entire play.
We have the speed to dust anybody on the edge. So just throwing in an extra like motion, an extra, like an extra fake, like will do a lot. I mean, like who's gonna stop Kyler on a full run or Rondale, and even D-Hop. Like D-Hop's speed is very underrated, and like he'll beat the edge real quick. So I definitely agree with that, Amit.
Did you guys catch this?
Yeah. So what's the calling on that? Like,
so it was ruled like we got the ball, so it was fine. But I'm assuming it's like you got to play where it lies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that's what it is. Like it is what it is. If the ball hits the ref in an NBA game, it's still live. Like go for it. But it did look like he was touching out of bounds while he was touching it. So I'm not 100% sure. But we got the ball back.
They still called it a muff punt.
Mm-hmm.
They still called it a muff punt.
So there it is. That's the official ruling. So there's nothing we can do about that. Defensively now. Oh, Roy wants to know Cliff Kingsbury versus Arthur Smith. I'll take Arthur Smith, and I don't know much about him, bro.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but
that's the coach of the Falcons. JV says we're nitpicking considering Matt Nagy. Agreed, but what are we trying to do? Just like get to the playoffs and be a good team, or are we trying to elevate it and be a Super Bowl contender? If we're not trying to be a Super Bowl contender, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Mm-hmm. That's my level of everything. Every being in me is at that level all the time, championship or bust. As the year progresses, we can reevaluate. But that's what I'm trying to get at. And we're nitpicky, but his decisions are going to cost us. I think they're going to cost us the game against the Rams. But before we get there, defense. Yeah. Defense looked okay in the first half. Technically, we gave up 7 points. I really don't think, obviously you can't hold the field goal 109-yard return on them, but 7 points. Second half, they had one really good drive to start it out. It was somebody tweeted it out. I forget who it was. They said, oh, it's the obligatory can't stop the other team's run and they'll score a touchdown type of drive. And I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, that's correct. Every single Arizona Cardinals game, there is one drive where we get absolutely gashed on the ground. And that was it. That is something I'd like to see fixed, obviously. But they had 159 yards rushing on the ground. Trevor Lawrence had 27 yards. James Robinson had 88 and a touch. Carlos Hyde had 8 for 44 yards. So they were cooking, man. They were doing it from different sides. And once you saw Trevor Lawrence getting those 7, 8, 9, 10-yard runs, I was like, oh, no. This had the makeup to be a very, very different type of game. Thank God for Byron Murphy and taking it all back. 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6. So star of the game for me was Byron Murphy.
Yep.
Amit, what did you see from the defense?
They were out of
I didn't see JJ Watt or Chandler Jones, though. I didn't see that.
No, he did. So JJ Watt did actually put that pressure on to create that pick.
He did
6.
for that. Correct.
Yeah.
He did that. Chandler Jones, didn't he he recovered that fumble in the end of the game. I don't remember who created the fumble, but he recovered that fumble. And I think he had a tackle for loss, like he stuffed a running back. But there is some problematic things against the run game because we've now seen it 2 weeks in a row where we just haven't been able to stop the run, even though they're different schemes. And imagine if we didn't get that pick 6 and Jacksonville continues to run the ball. It's a totally different game, right? Like we're fighting for our lives in that game because they had to throw the ball and Trevor Lawrence just isn't quite there yet. And their offensive line is pretty bad. And he doesn't really have any playmakers outside. So, and that's why, the Cardinals were 7.5 favorites going into the game because, on the road on an East Coast game in the morning. I mean, it's like, how often do you see that? You never see that.
Right.
So I mean, that's what odds makers think of Jacksonville. And, we should have won by 12 points, which we did, but it all came down to that pick 6 that really flipped the game around. Granted, we should have never kicked that ball, at 68. So who knows, right? I mean, it's all, 2020.
It's all Monday morning quarterbacking it right now, right?
Right.
Jay, I want to throw a few numbers at you real quick. And we talk about our defensive line and how great they were and the linebackers specifically in week 1. Since then, our secondaries had to do quite a bit of work. So let me give you a number here. And then Amit, I want to come to you. Jordan Hicks was our leading tackler with 12 and a sack. Marcus Golden only had the other sack, so nice to see Marcus Golden get up there. Where'd he go? Chandler Jones did have 3 quarterback hits, so obviously probably a couple pressures. J.J. Watt, no QB hit, no sack, no pressure. Jordan Hicks was our leading tackler with 12, then Jalen Thompson was 7. Marco Wilson was 6. Buda Baker was 6. Isaiah Simmons was 6. Robert Alford with 5. Byron Murphy with 4. Ain't no defensive lineman in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the top 9, number 10, Zach Allen with 2. Tell me what you think when I tell you those stats.
Like beginning of the season, I would think the pass rush would be carrying us heavy, but obviously our secondary is playing really good football. I haven't had any complaints about. Yeah, exactly right. Like that was like our biggest worry to start the season. But Isaiah Simmons is doing his thing. I'm glad Hicks and Marcus Golden are getting in there. But like we need to really work on the running game because this 3-game stretch that's coming up. Rams, Cleveland, and the Niners. Like Niners always average like 90 yards rushing. You don't really want to give that up. Then Cleveland has the best running back room in the league with Kareem Hunt and Chubbs. And I forget the Rams running back, but he's really good as well. So
they got Sony Michel and Henderson. Yeah.
Yeah. So like these 3 teams are very consistently good with the running game. So I really want to nip this in the butt as soon as possible. That's why we're sort of nitpicking what's going on. But our secondary, for the most part, that they've been handling their thing, but we suck in the zone. Let's just stick to man.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of the zone.
It
is frustrating. It's so frustrating. All these blown coverages. Like we just need to play man.
You got to switch them up to keep you off guard. But Amit, when I tell you about all of those stats, what comes to mind for you, man?
I mean, the one is Buda Baker, right? Like he has not been making as many plays this year, and I think Simmons has been taking over that role. So he's playing a different part of the field.
Is that a good thing in your mind?
I think it is. I think he's taking away something.
Facts.
I think Buda Baker's taking away something from the field. They're aware of his presence, and they want him not near the play. So I think we'll see against the Rams. The Rams is a perfect test for us. Because we're gonna have like I said, the running game hasn't been good, so running defense hasn't been good, so we're gonna have to see how we do against that. I think the secondary has played really well. Like I'm actually, like you guys remember, I was saying we're gonna playing a lot of guys that don't have experience, and Byron Murphy has stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
Marco Wilson has played good. Isaiah
Robert
Simmons,
Alford. Don't forget about
really
Alford.
Good.
Yep.
Alford played really good. I think the thing with him was like, can he be healthy? Because when he's healthy, he's really good. And he's proven that. And then Simmons has been lightning in a bottle too. So I think we've got some guys out there that can cover. I think we just got to get a little bit more pressure than we've been getting the last couple of weeks.
What pressure?
Yeah.
What pressure? Because we're letting everybody just kind of run freely right now, and it's really annoying. JV. Yeah, JV, you asked about DePaul basketball. I honestly don't know too much. You guys have been down in the Big East. It looks like you got a couple studs coming back, and Charlie Moore and Javon Freeman Liberty. So, I mean, I'm always rooting for DePaul because I liked Quentin Richardson when he was there.
And he went to high school with my wife.
Q?
Oh, word.
Yeah, Q.
Word, in Chi-Town?
And Whitney Young Magnet School right in the city.
Hey, that's dope. Yeah, I mean, I'm always kind of rooting for DePaul, but I got a question. Have you guys seen the Arizona State Sun Devils? I don't know, whatever it is that's out there that they're saying that they need to change their name to the Sun Angels. Have you seen that? There's a petition is what it is that's going around. And I got to say, if there's a petition for the Sun Devils, there needs to be a petition for the for Duke, and there needs to be one for, the
New Jersey.
For New Jersey Devils and DePaul Blue Demons.
The thing that really bothers me is Hawaii had the coolest name. They were the Rainbow Warriors, and now they're just the Warriors, right?
Yeah,
like,
there was
that was cool. Like, why did you change it? That was so homophobic. Like, why? It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the opposite way where they're
school-
going the opposite, just like now.
There
it's
was
like,
a school in California in high school. They were called the Artists, and they had to change their name too. I just thought that was funny. Yes, the Sun Angels sounds soft. Yeah, I'm sure it's a U of A Wildcat trying to get a petition out there to go put it out there. But yeah, anyways, this defense and that secondary, man, I just can't speak enough about it. This is this is the best secondary since 2015. Before that, 2011, when Antonio Cromartie was teamed up with Patrick Peterson. Before that, I'm having a hard time picking a secondary that I actually liked. So this is, in the last 20 years, arguably the top secondary. It's definitely top 3. Arguably the top one that we've ever had.
yeah, we'll have to see because a lot of these guys, we're basing this up 3 weeks of play. But I mean, when we said that about the 2015 team, Kerry Rose, like all these guys had they were veterans, right? So at that point, we'll have to see how it goes. But yes, they are probably the best that we've had since that team.
And I'm loving it. And again, thank you everybody for watching. We've had roughly 5 to 8 viewers the whole time. A couple on YouTube, a couple on Facebook, and we actually had one on Twitter. Our first one actually on Twitter. So thank you for whoever is actually watching on Twitter. We appreciate you. Please like and share this out. So it was a trap game. We avoided it. We're 2-0 on the road, 2-0 in the Eastern time zone at the 11 a.m. kickoff. So I guess 10 a.m. local Valley time. 1-0 at home. We can nitpick about all these different things, but the true test is coming on Sunday. Amit, you were going to be at the game. I want to know one thing first. What is your gear going to be? What are you going to be wearing to show off your Cardinal pride?
Yeah, so I ordered because I was gonna wear my Fitz jersey, but then I was like, I like to keep it clean. I don't want to wear it too much, so I ordered a Kyler shirt. My son, he's had a Kyler jersey from last season, so he's decked out. I got a few Cardinals hats. I got that one right there. I'll probably wear that with it.
Is that a gray one?
Yeah,
I think I got the same one.
Oh yeah, this is the 50-year one.
Oh, I don't have that one. That's dope.
With the gold on the bottom. But yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna wear that. I need a Cardinal face mask. I don't have that, but I gotta get one of those too. But
you can paint your face red and do the yellow nose.
Oh, if I do that, my son's gonna want to paint his whole body. So
oh yeah, stay away from that. That's bad news.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be there. You're gonna be loud. Are you sitting on a side? Or are you sitting behind a goalpost? Or where are you at?
I think I'm gonna be. I have to check again. I think I'm gonna be around the 30-yard line. I'm gonna be nosebleed, dude. The tickets are really expensive. Like I'm $90 for nosebleed.
No worries. It's the experience. Enjoy it.
But they have a crazy like Teletron thing where it like wraps around the same arms. You guys seen that?
Yeah.
On the inside, so it wraps around. They have the experience around the stadium is pretty cool because they have a whole outdoor area that's covered and the whole deal. But yeah, it'll be cool, man. I'm excited to go to a game. I'm not expecting good things, but it's an experience to take my son and celebrate.
Don't get into any fights with LA fans. No. I think we all know about them.
Yeah.
Be nice, be polite. Don't be like that woman throwing that cup.
Dude,
I don't know if
fuck
you guys
that lady.
That
fuck that lady, bro.
Seriously.
She hid behind her guy. She was just like
cheer hard though. Cheer hard. Have you ever been to an NFL game?
Yeah. I saw the Cardinals when they first came when LA first came back, they were playing in the Coliseum. I don't know if you guys remember, it was like a New Year's Day game. We stomped the shit out of the Rams. I think it was like 41-10 or something. And at that time, I think it was like 2017 or 2018. And we all thought Fitz was going to retire then. So I remember recording him catching a touchdown from Palmer in the end zone at the end of that season and thinking, okay, this is the last time I'm going to see Fitz catch a touchdown. And the best player on the field that entire game was their punter. What the hell is that guy's name now? Heckler. He was the best player on the entire field.
I don't know how I just...
Yeah. And it was fun because the entire bottom bowl was all Cardinals fans. The entire bottom bowl.
It ain't going to be like that now.
It's not going to be like that. The way the games are priced. But I don't know, man. People are paying crazy money to go to the Suns game, so maybe they'll come out for the Cardinals.
You never know. But we need to get into this matchup real quick. I personally believe Hecker is Johnny Hecker or Heckler. Yeah, something like that, JB. I think you're right. St. Louis Rams are 3-0. Sony Michel looked a lot better. Cooper Kupp looks incredible. It's going to be a great test for our secondary. The offensive line is good. Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald. Matt Stafford is flinging the damn ball all around to all receivers. Van Jefferson, Robert Woods has been, not Robert Woods recently. I expect him to come back at some point, hopefully not next week. With their zone running, with Cliff Kingsbury and his play calling, I don't expect good things at all. In fact, I expect to lose by at least double digits. I hate to say it, but I do. Jay, thoughts on next week's game versus the Rams? Go.
So I watched the Bucks versus Rams game. I don't know if you guys did, but to start the game, Brady and Matt weren't throwing consistently or good, but just something about Matt just getting into tune. Like, he's just unstoppable, and he has such a stacked team. Like, this is by far probably the best team in the league right now, besides the Chargers and the Bucks. The Chiefs drop heavy. So this team is scary. I'm not expecting a win per se. I'm not expecting a blowout either. But I'm gonna stay positive. I think if we continue scoring our 30 points, we don't waste possessions. And Cliff doesn't do stupid shit, I think we can win this in a nail biter. Maybe 35-32. But
it's asking a lot for our offense, yeah.
That's really optimistic. I think that's asking a lot from our pass rush.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt is really good with he just has great pass protection right now, and he's comfortable. And having him comfortable is the worst concoction you can have, being on the opposite end. So
make him uncomfortable. Exactly what Ty is saying here. We really need Chandler and JJ to bounce back. If that defensive line can wreak havoc, we have a really good chance. But everything that they run is 68% zone running is what I saw today. We're so bad. We've been consistently bad. Vance Joseph has been consistently bad against that. So that's why I don't we have the talent. It's 100% there. We have the edge rushers. We have guys at the middle. Jordan Phillips and Dennis Gardeck are available to come off of not the PUP list. I think it's just the injury list. Just due to COVID, it's only 3 weeks now. Yeah. So it's not like the PUP, which used to be 6 weeks. They can come back. I mean, that would be a huge lift. And we have the personnel to do it. We just suck against zone running plays. But if the defensive line can wreak any type of havoc, we actually really do have a good chance to win, in my personal opinion. Amit?
Yeah, I think we cannot play zone. If we play zone,
absolutely
Cooper
not.
Kupp is going to annihilate us across the middle. We need cover
He's
2.
He's going to find that sweet spot. Yes, he will.
We need cover 2. We need Buddha in his space doing the things he does. We got to get pressure with 4 or 5 guys. We can't send too many guys. The running game, I think, they run the zone and then they do play action. That's their entire offense. So if we can stuff the run to the point where they have to, they have to throw the ball and it's predictable, we have a good chance, assuming we can get a good pass rush. I think offensively, we're in a little bit better position because the Bucks, Tom Brady, I don't know if you guys watched, but Tom Brady could not move. That guy, he's old. He looked old in that game. Him and Roethlisberger looked really old this weekend. And we know Kyler can move. So I think Kyler's going to have to be aggressive in running the ball and scrambling a little bit more than he has this season, because the Rams can get pressure with 4 guys. They can get pressure with 2 guys. So he's got to be able to just, step up in the pocket and just move, run. And then at times look down the field. I'm sure Hop's going to be open if he's healthy, or these other guys are going to be open. I think that's the advantage, that we have a lot of unknown things that we can do with Rondale Moore in space, with DeAndre Hopkins in space, AJ Green and Hopkins at the catch point. If you're throwing it up, that catch that AJ Green made last against the Jacksonville was crazy, man.
Yeah, that was a great catch.
Play, right?
That was a PI too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't throw the flag. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. So
just because you mentioned Tom Brady and Roethlisberger, I just wanted to bring this up.
Fuck?
I mean, what the fuck, dude?
Did you guys not see that?
No.
This was in the game this year.
Yeah, Ben is done.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to bench that guy. But get back to Cardinals. I mean, that's like if everything goes right. In my opinion, I mean, with Cliff, we always have to put that factor in. I think we're going to lose. I'm going to the game and I'm saying we're going to lose. So I'm paying money to see the Cardinals lose on my birthday weekend.
Our birthday weekend.
Yeah.
We need to celebrate
our birthday weekend.
We need to celebrate some year.
Mm-hmm.
One year we'll be able to go to a game or something. So you're paying money to go see them lose. I'm not optimistic. Jay, Mr. Optimism over here. I love it. Like, keep that up. Keep that up. Somebody around here's got to be optimistic, and it ain't gonna be me.
I think all we have to do is clog the middle and stop the rush, because I think 45% of Matt's throws is right down the middle to either Deshaun or Cup. So if we just clog the middle and stop the rush, I think we have a good chance. I think we can win in a nail biter. So, like,
I mean, the difference is that we've got dudes that can cover in space now, right? Yeah. So that helps. Their tight end, I had him Higbee. We got Isaiah Simmons to kind of counter that. I'm curious who's going to play Cooper Kupp. Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, I feel like we'll be able to do good things against those guys. Budda Baker, the heat-seeking missile himself, can go ahead and make any play he wants from anywhere on the field. We've got to get pressure. We've got to get pressure. That defensive line has got to penetrate and make plays and make Matt Stafford not look like a statue all game.
Yep.
You remember what the game was last year and 2 years ago against Matt Stafford?
Mm-hmm.
Homie went off on us, man.
Yeah.
We have to make him feel uncomfortable. Keep them behind the chains. First down is going to be huge, because if it goes 2nd and 6 or even 2nd and 5, I don't like our chances. If we can keep it 2nd and 10, maybe a little bit behind the chains, we have a lot better chance. Keep an eye on that. Of course, when it comes to 3rd down, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14, I'm not comfortable with that still.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't run a lot of zone, because if we run zone on those plays, dude, they're going to find that gap. They're going to find that seam, that gap somewhere. Cooper Kupp's going to go up, find it, and just sit and wait. And Matt Stafford will deliver him the ball.
Yeah.
Create pressure. Offensively, what do we need to do, Amit, to escape with a win, regardless of what the defense does?
I mean, like I said, I think we got to find a better run scheme than what we've been doing. I think we have to, in this case, I know I've been saying we got to protect Kyler, but we got to get him in the running game more. We got to make him an active threat. And I think we got to, like you said, we got to put motion. We need some motion to open up some of those edge running things that we want to do, and open up the middle for Connor. I think against the Rams, when they have a pass rush like this, we're going to have a short pass game. And I think I've been seeing the last 2 weeks. It's funny because I'm watching, I'm like, am I watching West Coast offense? Because like the way Kyler was just kind of like just dotting guys for like 4 or 5 yards. And I was like, we're kind of running like a little West Coast scheme right now.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
No problem on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we keep that up, and we get to the goal line, and we know what we can do there. Like we're good on the goal line. We got so many options there. So, I mean, I think we got to keep the ball out of their hands, because their offense is really
deadly.
Good. So, we got to find a way to just eat the clock. I think, we have the advantage with special teams as well. I don't know if you guys, Andy Lee has been punting the shit out of the ball this season.
Hell yeah.
He averaged over 50 yards in the last game, but he didn't have any touch inside 20s, but he's been doing that, and he's been doing that his whole career. So wasn't he? I think he was a Pro Bowler last year too. So I think our special teams is good. Rondale Moore on punt returns, minus the ref getting involved. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to take a lot for us to win this game. It's going to take a lot of things to go right.
Oh,
The Rams might be the best team in football.
I picked them to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC.
If you look at all the other 3-0 teams, like Raiders 3-0, would you have thought the Raiders would be 3-0? And the way they got there is ridiculous too, right?
Right.
And then we get the Rams, and then who are the other 3-0 teams?
I'll look real quick.
Chargers, Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos. What?
Hey, shout out Teddy.
Yeah,
I love me some Teddy Bridge. Don't
I do
Teddy
too.
Ball player. Don't get me wrong. I love Teddy Ball player. And Carolina's 3-0 too.
Carolina.
Yeah,
with Sam Darnold as the quarterback. And they don't have
about
McCaffrey
though.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
49ers, Bills. What? Did
He
I see that
picked.
correctly?
Sorry. Yeah. 49ers Bills is
That's
his
crazy.
Super Bowl pick.
Maybe
I picked
the Bills, but
I picked the Rams. I definitely thought the Rams would go, and then obviously I picked the Chiefs. I thought it'd be Rams Chiefs this year, but you never know, and that's why I love the sport. You never know what's going to happen, and there's something about fall and football. I know that you guys don't really experience that too much on the West Coast, but if you guys ever get over on the East Coast somehow or somewhere with some trees, there's just something magical about football in the fall time, and that September, October, maybe it's because your team is still kind of good, no matter, if you're on a downward trend or what, there's still hope. Once it hits winter, sometimes football coverage gets really annoying. Like by November, dude, I'm so sick of football coverage. Yeah. It's all about the NFC East and the Cowboys and however long they want to blow Tom Brady. You know what I mean? By that time, there's too much coverage. I'm tired of hearing about it. The Cardinals might not be as good, but football in the fall, man, it is undefeated. I don't know why it's so fucking magical. And I'm a basketball guy, 100% basketball all the way. I would rather watch a Raptors Magic game than a Raiders, I don't know, whoever, Washington game. I just love basketball. But when it's the fall time, it's awesome. And special things happened on my birthday. The Jail Mary happened. Kalen Ballage's run against UCLA. There's one or two more other big ones that has happened specifically on my birthday, which is Sunday. And crazy things happen on October 3rd. You never know. I have hope. But we need to turn our tables to something just a little bit different today. We're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns for a minute. And Devin Booker is in protocols. Does that worry you at all, Jay, that Devin Booker is in protocols and training camp starts in a couple days?
No, not really. I mean, he's been on the move all summer. So, I think it's just precautionary. It's whatever. But I did see somebody in the chat was talking about the unis. I have been seeing this black off brands, not those ones. I've been seeing this sort of sunburst retro one kind of floating around. It's just Phoenix with the sunburst colors. It's a really nice black uniform. It looks like that might be the New Jersey that's coming up. But as far with Devin Booker, I think it's just precautionary. As far as everything that I've read, everyone's vaccinated, so that's good. So we're not, bullshitting around. So
I mean, he's our best player. I'm not really worried about it. Giving all the antibodies he needs right now. People are kind of going crazy on some things. I don't really understand why people would really give a shit at this point in the season. It's not like we're in the playoffs. It's not like we're going on a road trip or nothing like that. Let's just pump the brakes a little bit. One thing I did see, I'm very excited about, Mikal Bridges looks a little beefier.
Yeah, he does.
He put on some pounds in a short off season. Mikal Bridges puts on a little bit of poundage. He's got a little bit of muscle in the shoulders and everything that I saw, which is exactly what I wanted for him to do. If he could add 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, it would do him wonders for his game. Now, I went on Suns Jam session, and they asked me which player could, possibly have a downfall. And I said it was Mikal Bridges because, he's an 86 on 2K now. everybody's hyping him up to be a Kevin Durant-like player or Kawhi. So I think he's just not going to quite live up to those expectations, but I expect him to have an absolutely killer season. So seeing him beef up like that's, kind of got me in a feels a little bit. Amit, did you see any of the Mikal Bridges clips today?
I saw them shoulders looking strong.
I'm going to look something up. Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think everyone, the expectations they put on him are a little bit, we don't need to put those expectations on him. We just need him to be consistent in the playoffs.
Mhm.
That's all we need from him offensively. Because if he just plays the way he did last season, we're good. And he's going to get more notice too for all defensive team. And I mean, he shot 40. Look at those shoulders, 46% or 42% from three. I mean, and I think he was like 46 or 48 from the corner. So like, he's good, man. He can expand on his his attacking the closeout. And same with Cam. They can both work on that.
Ball handling is what he said. Is specifically ball handling and in the weight room.
There you go. So I mean, that's all he needs. I think I'm excited to see what we get from DA this season. That's what I'm excited about.
That and DeAndre Ayton said he was so excited. It was like Christmas for him when they finally got another backup big.
Yeah.
Imagine DeAndre Ayton getting in foul trouble in the first 3 minutes and having a completely capable 7'1" with like a 7'20" wingspan come in and not be able to miss a beat finally. What we've all been praising for. Hello, James Jones. Thank you. Damian Jones obviously didn't work out and you cut him, didn't sign anybody, ended up being our weakness, and goes out and he gets the most ideal backup to DeAndre Ayton, right, Jay? I mean, maybe Dwight Howard, maybe a Nerlens Noel, but I think it's this dude.
I would have picked JaVale over any other backup big. He runs the floor really well. He has a great post game, and he's consistent, and he doesn't get injured. So,
availability.
Availability, yeah, exactly. Our Achilles heel was when DA got in foul trouble guarding Giannis or Jokic. We were essentially done. We had to put either Torrey Craig or Sarge getting hurt, or it's just that was our biggest weakness. And JaVale, if DA goes out, we're not missing out on anything now. JaVale is going to bring the same intensity as DA brings, just a lot faster, faster pace. So this is a great addition. And I don't know if you saw Campaign and JaVale. They threw the first pitch at the D-backs game the other day.
I didn't see that.
I heard about it.
Yeah. So JaVale and Cam are already fucking buddies, and Mikal and CP were at the Rams game and they're hanging out, and everything that's been coming out today, everybody
Summer League, don't forget about the Summer League when they were all just chilling on the front row.
And Craig
CP3 was at the Mercury game.
Last
dope. I didn't see that either. Dope.
Just the culture we have here in Arizona right now in sports is just great. A loving locker room, everybody's clicking. It's just great to see. Win or loss. I just love seeing this personally.
Did you guys see what Abdul Nader said about going into the Western Conference Finals game?
No, I didn't.
He said, quote, "I didn't know he was going to do that." Abdul Nader laughed when asked about the trust Monty Williams had in him to put him in a Western Conference Finals game after being out for a few months. I didn't know he was going to do that.
That's hilarious.
I like that. that. Keep everybody on your toes. Keep everybody ready. You're not going to be down on yourself that you're not playing or anything, because you never know when you're going to get called up. So that was interesting. Campaign talked about re-signing with the Suns and said, after the series, it was really a no-brainer for me. I wanted to come back. Alfred Payton talked about the difference of when he was here before and here now, and just a stark change from the practice facility to attention to details to absolutely everything. Is there anything else that sticks out to you from Media Day? Did you guys hear anything else or look at some tweets during your time today? Amit, let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just still hung up on this Devin Booker thing, because I mean, he didn't admit it there, but I think he admitted it on Twitch that he has COVID. He got it. but he won't say if he took the vaccine. And at this point, I don't care what you think about it. It's a competitive advantage. If your team is vaccinated, you can play in any city. But if you're not, you can't play in San Francisco, you can't play in Brooklyn, and you can't play in New York. So that is like it's a competitive. So I just want to make sure that he can play in those games because those are 3 playoff teams, right? That we are going to need him at, especially in the Pacific Division. We're going to need him in those games. So, I'm just that's the thing that stuck out to me. I'm just like, dude, just like, can you just say you got it? Because we're going to know. We're going to know the players that didn't get it by the fact that they won't be able to play in those cities.
Dude, just get the shot, man.
Yeah.
Just get the shot, especially if you're an athlete. Like, I'm not a professional athlete. I've never worked in a professional setting, but from all the things that we hear, movies that we see, people that you can talk to, like, these athletes are injecting stuff in them left and right, from painkillers, to whatever it may be, right? They're putting all these things in their body, and a lot of it's to recuperate, but they're doing all this and they won't put the vaccine in.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. So a lot of our players came out, said they're fully vaccinated. Dario Saric was asked, about watching from the finals, and he said it was hard. He wonders if even playing 12 to 15 minutes would have affected the series. I think it could have. There's potential. I thought he was going to be a killer in that series. I mean, when he got injured, the first play, he takes it right to the rack. I thought he was going to be able to take a couple guys off the dribble and do what he does best. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. Jay, what else kind of stuck out to you in media day? Did you catch anything else?
Just everybody has positive vibes and ready to get the season started. Everything looks good. But yeah, I did see Dario talking about that and stuff, and people fail to realize that Giannis hurt 2 out of our 3 big men. And like, it would have definitely been a different series if JaVale was with us last year and we had, the talent that we have, currently. So like, I know it, like, being in Dario's role right now, being inconsistent stuff, I feel for him. And, we're not going to see him play this year. So it's more, it's positive vibes right now. And I just can't wait for the season to start. It's going to be weird covering Cardinals and Suns and all that, but
yep. It's going to be good. It ain't going to be weird.
It's going to be good.
Be baller as fuck.
You guys think the Thad Young thing is going to happen?
I feel like it would have happened by now.
No, not necessarily. I think Spurs are doing what they should do. They got a contract that is going to expire, and people are going to want him at the deadline, and I think they're waiting for the best offer. I don't blame him for not doing it. It's an opportunity for Jalen Smith. Maybe we don't need to. Maybe he can step up. It's not going to be like Summer League where everybody's just focused on Jalen Smith. You know what I mean? He's got to come in 8 to 12 to 14 minutes, make an impact defensively. Again, me and Amit have said this before. Imagine having Jalen Smith and JaVale McGee on the floor together defensively. Yeah. Shot blocking sensations right there, dude.
Yeah.
But we're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole with Jalen Smith, where he was a perimeter player, he's a post player, and they're trying to move him to a perimeter player. So how well can he adjust? I am disappointed that neither of you guys said anything about Jay Crowder. Did you guys see any comments about what went on with him by chance?
What happened? I must have missed it.
So no, it was just, they were talking to him, and he said he's seeing a psychiatrist because.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. The last 2 years, he went to the finals with the Heat, went to the finals with the Suns, and he's 0-2 right now. And so he's trying to do anything that he can to keep up his spirit mentally and take care of that, because he was exhausted and he burnt out. I think we all kind of saw that he burnt out a little bit. Yet, was it game 1 or game 2? He had 20, 30 some points, and he was just draining threes. It was like 6 of 8 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I was surprised to hear that. He said physically he's good, but mentally I'm burnt out. And it was a grind last year for these Phoenix Suns, man. They had to prove themselves almost every single night. It's going to be a different kind of grind this year. They're going to be the hunted. Mm-hmm. How are they going to be able to respond? Part of me is like, they had to go out and they had to earn the respect last year. This year, they're going to have the respect. I don't care what the fans say, what the media fucking says, what Twitter says. I don't care about any of that. They have the league's respect. They have the players around the league respect. They have the teams every night. They're going in, they're playing the Phoenix Suns. They have that respect right damn away. They're not playing for that this year. So now they just got to go in and focus on Phoenix Suns basketball. And I think that's going to be a little bit different for them this year. They're not trying to prove a point. They need to perfect their game. But they're going to be the hunted. So it's a few different things. And I'm really, really, really excited for this year. I'm pumped for it. I'm ready for it. But I just want the Cardinals to go 4-0, y'all. I just want 4 wins. I mean, somebody threw out a stat today that scared the shit out of me about the Cardinals. They said 75% of the teams that go 3-0 make the playoffs. And I said, shit. That is not something that I wanted to hear, but good things are coming. The Cardinals look better. We threw up another 30 burger. ASU 3-1 going against UCLA. We're going to find out everything we need to know about this team because we don't know what's going to happen moving into the future.
There's a really good chance that we could be 3-3 3 weeks from now.
I know.
Yeah.
We play the Rams and then we play the Niners. I don't even want to talk about the next games after that. Like, I just want to focus on the Rams and come out with a victory there. We have to go 3-3 in the division. Sun Devils have to only have one more loss throughout this season to get to the Pac-12 championship, in my opinion. UCLA could be it. Herm Edwards ain't coming back next year. None of those coaching staffs are. If you listen to the last podcast with Ralph Amson, who was absolutely wonderful, by the way, please go and listen to that for you Sun Devil fans. And the Suns are right around the corner. And if you're a Diamondbacks fan, the offseason, it's the most wonderful time. We don't get to lose every single night. We're going to have a good draft pick. Who knows if we're actually going to make any good signings. So we'll discuss that as well, too. A lot of good things in Valley sports. Fall, football, Thursday night football's coming up. Cowboys just beat the living shit out of the Eagles. So the NFC West looks like it's going to be absolutely controlled and dominated by the Cowboys this year. Crazy games with Green Bay and San Francisco. There's just so much going on. We are going to be back with you Wednesday night featuring Romp 2.0. Wednesday night's going to be a good one. We're talking about the Eastern Conference. We're talking about the Western Conference. We are going to name all of the teams 1 through 15, 16, however many there are in the NBA. We're going to rank them. We're going to see who's going to the playoffs, who's going to win to the divisions, who's going to win the conferences, and overall who is going to get to the NBA Finals, barring any injuries, obviously. So please come back with us, 9:30 Valley time, all NBA, all Suns talk, unless some breaking news happens with ASU or the Cardinals. We'll obviously throw that in there. Please come in and chat and enjoy with us. Amit, final words. Where can we find you? And leave us with a little tidbit of knowledge like you do.
You guys find me here. You know where I'm at. I'm on this pod. He's on Fire Pod. Just find me here. Tidbit. I mean, let's see what the Suns do this year, because I think we may not have as good of a record or winning percentage that we had last year. And the reason I say that is we're going to see a lot of tinkering with lineups early in the season that Monty's going to pull off because we have some new pieces. So just don't be concerned if you're not, the 1 seed by December, because we will be when the season ends. That's my prediction.
Ooh, 1 seed by the season ends. I like it. Jay, where can we find you? Leave us with some lasting knowledge, bro.
AZ Kiddo, Jay Joyce in the parentheses. That's my Twitter. I'm really into music and movies. I review them there. I'm seeing the midnight release of Venom, Let's Be Carnage on Wednesday night.
Dope.
So I'll give my updates on that movie. But to drop some knowledge, Suns, I think we're going to be a top 2 seed for sure. Utah is a joke. Kawhi's not playing. The Lakers have no shooting capability outside of Melo.
They're going to break the rim this year.
yeah, they're going to break the rim for sure. They're going to build the Clippers a brand new stadium with all the bricks. So Arizona is looking really good when it comes to our 2 major sports that we care about. Rams expect a loss, but we have the capability to win. Absolutely. Like, it all comes down to Cliff's playmaking, Kyler's decision making, and what J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones do behind the line. But when it comes to the Suns, I'm very excited. I can't wait for basketball season to start. This team looks a lot better. I wish we still had Torrey Craig. I wish we still had Etuan, but I think it's all for the best. So, yeah.
I completely agree with a lot of that. I am at Coach Evan B on Twitter, at He's on Fire Pod on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Playlists. There's like a couple other random ones that I don't even remember. But please head over to Anchor, donate to the podcast. We really appreciate you guys listening in, tuning in. Love the interaction with everybody. Shout out Roy. Shout out JV. You guys are awesome. Real quick, Amit. Niners or Seahawks? Who do you got? At Niners, by the way, at San Fran.
That's going to be a really fun game. I got to go Seahawks because I feel like they're desperate for a win.
It's going to be really telling.
Yeah, because they cannot go 1-3 in the division. So they're 2-1 or they're 1-2, right?
They're 1-2. They could go 1-3.
They absolutely need to win this game.
Jay, who you got? Niners or Seahawks?
That is hard.
Pick it. Time's running out. Who you got? Seattle. I'm going with Seattle too. I'm going to go with Seattle. I'm going to be on 49ers Cutback tomorrow. We record tomorrow. It will be released on Wednesday. It is Quest for the West. Hopefully we have our Seahawks and our Rams correspondents so we can have a foursome banter about all the best teams in the league, because this is one of the better conferences or divisions, I should say, in the league. It is the best. So it's going to be telling for everybody in week 4 coming up. And we are going to be here for all of it. And I can't wait to discuss it. But please come back Wednesday, talking hoops with Romp 2.0, making our NBA predictions. Saturday night after the UCLA ASU game, we will be here. And Sunday night after the Rams and Cardinals game, we will be here. He's on Fire Podcast. Thank you for joining. Deuces.
Urkavici sets, rolls up, and it is caught! Dylan Strong! Blitz coming, Matthews, Palmer extending the play, crosses the field, Larry Fitzgerald. If he scores, it's over. It's insane to the 4-yard line. Crowder looking, throws it alley. Oh! He puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting a little wobbly.